Hi everyone, it's Jim Filippi coming to you from the Filippi Law Firm. Today I want to talk to you about when probate is not necessary. So this may seem odd to you as a probate attorney. I'm going to tell you when you do not need to go through the probate process. Now obviously, and if you've watched any of our videos, you've probably heard me say how important it is to get your trust done. And that is a very valuable tool that can be used by a large number of people to avoid probate. But there are other situations that may not require the probate process. One being if you have an estate that's below the threshold that the state has established. Right now in 2021, it's $166,250. And as long as your estate is below that amount, and there are some exclusions in there, so that needs to be evaluated properly by an attorney, but you can use in an affidavit process instead of going through the probate process. The other situation is what I call the buckets, and that may seem a little weird when it comes to probate, but I tell people when we die, there's two basic buckets that we work with. There's the probate bucket and the non-probate bucket. And so we evaluate certain assets, and some assets will fall into the non-probate bucket. Those assets that are possibly part of a trust or in joint ownership with someone else, those typically will fall into the non-probate bucket. You won't have to probate those assets. Everything else typically will fall into your probate bucket, and depending on the value of those assets and any exclusions that apply, you may not need to go through the probate process, or if they are of higher value and they do not fall into that small estate affidavit process I talked about earlier, you would have to go through the full probate process there. So it's important to sit down with a probate attorney such as myself to evaluate the assets of the estate to ensure that, one, you don't engage into a probate process that is completely unnecessary, and two, that we have identified some opportunities to possibly make the transfer of assets go a little bit faster if the estate qualifies for the affidavit process. So I highly encourage you, if you have had a death in the family or have recently lost a loved one, that you sit down with an attorney so that you can properly evaluate that and determine which course of action is best for you. I hope that helped, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.